Very, very cool guy. He did a lot of work, Newton, on light. He was the first guy to figure out that light was actually made up of lots of different colours. You ever done the experiment with a prism and that? That was Newton. This is stuff, very interesting. And I think we are getting close to the point where I want to tell you, yes, I do. So we'll leave these guys as is. There's still some more stuff to do. But I want to show you, if I can find the darn thing. Okay, give me a few seconds. While I'm doing this, why don't you put down your last name for attendance? Get that done. There we go. Okay, almost ready. Hopefully you are. Right. So let's nip over to Canvas, and hopefully you can see midterm exam Monday 25th, that good stuff. Can you, is that what you say? Right. It's going to take 3 hours. Decided. That's how it's going to do it. It's going to start from 7 till 10. If you click on this one, it'll tell you essentially all the things you need to know. For starters, well, there's no reason why I was shouting at you there. I just forgot I was in caps lock. Here is the Zoom meeting that we'll be using. We will not be using our class Zoom meeting. We'll be using this one. Here are the topics that we will be covering in your midterm. Right now, we are almost finished 2A, and then the rest of this week we'll be doing what's essentially the power rule, exponential functions, product and quotient rule. We'll be showing you other rules, other shortcuts to finding derivatives. Right? So from the tangent line problem all the way to what we'll have done by Thursday. Now, what you are and are not allowed to use. Well, the first thing is you are going to be doing your work not on WebAssign. You will be doing it on pieces of paper the good old-fashioned way. And so it's very important that I see you're working. Because one, it could mean you just cheated if you do a really difficult question. Or you may be doing it a way I don't want you to. For instance, suppose I asked you to find the derivative using the limit as h tends to 0, and you just told me it was 5x plus 2. I'm going to assume that you just used the shortcut method, right? That you never did anything with limits. So I need to see working. Now, once you're done that, let's talk about what you are not allowed to do. You're not allowed to communicate Coral with any person living or dead. Got that? So you can't talk to your phone a friend. You can't go onto a tutoring site and communicate with them that way. Any physical or electronic communication with any type of person, even if that person is a piece of software that solves things, is not allowed.
I can ask my dog for moral support, right?
You are allowed to ask for moral support. That is allowed. You're not allowed to use fancy computer packages that solve things for you, but you are allowed to use Desmos. In fact, you probably should use Desmos, even if you're only using it to check things, but it's very helpful to solve when is something equal to 0 and all sorts of stuff. So Desmos is cool, use it. Most of Canvas will disappear. The only bit of Canvas you'll see is the bit that's to do with the midterm. So none of the videos will be visible for you, none of them. You shouldn't be looking at them anyway, so that's the amount. WebAssign will totally disappear. You won't be able to find anything on WebAssign. It'll have gone as well. You are allowed to use your TI-84. You are allowed to do Desmos. You are allowed to use any notes that you have physically written down or printed. So if you've got notes like the power rule and how, multiply by the power and reducible, whatever. These are all allowed. And I've seen a typo that should say 3 hours. Now, I'm not testing your ability to look up stuff. I'm testing in the midterm what you already know. Now, why am I phrasing it that way? You could have tons of notes and I could give you any question and you could spend 20 minutes finding the thing and writing it down. If you had to do that with all your questions, you will not be able to do them in the 3 hours. You will run out of time. So bear that in mind. You've got to manage your time. Now, that might well mean that you miss a question out because you know you're not so sure about it. Get the ones you know how to do done. And then the ones you're not so sure about, you might want to look at the notes and see if you can find something and, refresh your memory. And that's okay because it's the end and you'll have done most of your questions. Now, once you've finished, you're going to use either a program called Microsoft Lens or some other program. And some people just use a printer, right, and scan it. But you're going to turn it into a PDF and upload it to me. And there is no homework extensions for week 3. There's never been homework extensions for tests, but no homework extension for week 3. Week 3 is like the end of the first half of the course, right? So if you ain't done it by Sunday midnight, you ain't done it. And it won't be much use to you because the midterm's coming, so you better be ready anyway. So it's a way to force you to do that. And good luck. Any questions?
Will we still have an online exam on Sunday, like the day before the midterm?
Yeah, you've also got an online one as always, right? But the online one's just the usual web assign, do it when you want. So you might want to, if you can possibly do it, you might want to try and arrange your time so you've got a little bit more time. So after you've finished all your homework and you've finished the online test, oh, by the way, isn't that good revision for 1/3 of your midterm anyway? You can then spend what time you've got looking over week 1 and 2 stuff so that you're ready for the whole thing. Now, there's the Zoom meeting that we talked about. This better not have the midterm on it, but here is a placeholder. So when you click on it, there'll be a PDF and that's where you'll get your questions. Here is, for an Android, use this link. For Apple, I believe you can use this link. Here is Microsoft Lens. Here's a video, shows you how you can use it. Basically, you take your phone and take pictures of your work, and then this software turns it into a PDF for me. You click on here, and you upload your work. So let's pretend you've done your exam, right? It's on paper. You've now turned it into a PDF, and you're ready to upload it so I can see you're working. You hit Start Assignment. You hit Upload File. You choose File. You've got it somewhere stored. Pick it. Open it up. And then finally submit. And that's it. If you do it and then suddenly realize that, oh, darn it, I've forgotten the last page. You do your thing, right? You change your PDF to have the last page. You go New Attempt, Upload File, choose the file, choose the fixed version, press Open, and then submit. Okay, pretty straightforward. If you had me before, you know how this works. And let's move out of here. There's Desmos. Here is a midterm practice. At least it's an old one, and it's good at the start. It gives you lots of stuff, and yeah, can you remember left limits, right limits, all that stuff? Give you an idea of what it looks like. It goes further than it needs to. So some of these things here you won't be able to do. If I've got time, which I don't know if I will, I'll go in and doctor it. But you should be able to do up to question 13, but not all of 13. You'll be able to do A, you'll be able to do E. Yeah, so you'll be able to do a couple of those. That's kind of where we are. Oh, wait a minute, I've done the product and quotient rule. I take that back. You'll be able to do almost all of these questions. You won't be able to do C, because that's a new guy in town. You won't be able to do T. So you'll be able to do everybody except C and D from 13. You'll be able to do 14B. I'll really try my best to see if I can, take out the stuff you don't know how to do yet, so that you'll be able to do it. Okay. I think I've covered everything. Oh, no, I haven't. Your midterm exam is in 2 parts. Section 1 is multiple choice. And in section 1, actually, I don't want to see any working. I just want to see A, B, or C, whatever the right answer is. And then section 2, I do want to see the working. So I should mention that. Section 1, don't need to see the working. I mean, if you show me, it's fine, but it's either right or wrong. But I prefer not to see the working. But in section B, I really do. And one of the reasons I like to see the working is that you get partial credit. So if you did the question 90% right, and a +2 turned into a -2, you lost a sign. Wouldn't you get the wrong answer because of that? Now, do you know if you get the wrong answer with a sign, doesn't it just say it's wrong? It doesn't say, well, you're almost right and I'll give you half your points. It doesn't tell you that. It just kills you, right? If I see you're working, I can give you partial credit. So if it's 90% right, you get 90% of the points. So it's a fairer way of grading. Right now, I think I'm finished. Your turn to ask me questions because I'm pretty sure I've forgotten something.
Do we need to use a specific type of paper? I use graph paper.
Don't care, paper. Better to use some dark. Pens are better. I know that sometimes you have to go, that's fine. I don't mind scribbled out. Some pencils are so faint that when you take the picture, it's very hard to see them. Some pencils. I guess if you got a dark pencil, it's fine. But I found pen works really well.